Imagine a world where your most intimate decisions are dictated by strangers, where the choices you make about your own body are scrutinized and controlled by laws you had no hand in crafting. Picture the anguish of realizing your future hangs in the balance, teetering on the edge of personal autonomy and imposed morality. This is the reality for millions who find themselves entangled in the web of restrictive abortion laws. Why, in a society that champions freedom and equality, do we still struggle to acknowledge abortion as a fundamental right devoid of conditions or restrictions? Abortion is a deeply complex and often polarizing issue, touching on aspects of personal autonomy, societal values, ethical considerations, and public health. However, when viewed through the lens of fundamental human rights, the argument for unconditional access to abortion becomes compelling and persuasive. This position is grounded in the principles of bodily autonomy, gender equality, and the recognition of reproductive rights as inherent human rights. This essay will explore several arguments supporting the assertion that abortion is a fundamental right that should be free from conditions or restrictions. Bodily autonomy and personal freedom. At the core of the argument for unrestricted access to abortion is the principle of bodily autonomy. Bodily autonomy refers to the right of individuals to govern what happens to their own bodies without external interference. This principle is a cornerstone of personal freedom and is crucial in respecting individuals' ability to make decisions about their own lives. Forcing a person to continue a pregnancy against their will is a profound violation of bodily autonomy. It disregards their right to control their own reproductive health and future. The imposition of any condition or restriction on abortion undermines this autonomy, treating individuals not as fully capable of making decisions about their own bodies but as subjects to be controlled and regulated. Gender equality and women's rights. The ability to access safe and legal abortion is intrinsically linked to gender equality. Historically, restrictions on abortion have disproportionately affected women, reinforcing patriarchal structures that seek to control women's bodies and reproductive choices. Denying women the right to choose whether or not to continue a pregnancy perpetuates gender inequality by limiting their ability to participate equally in society. Unrestricted access to abortion is essential for ensuring that women have the same opportunities as men to pursue education, careers, and personal goals. It allows women to make decisions that are best for their health, their families, and their futures. Without the right to abortion, women are forced into roles that may not align with their aspirations, thus perpetuating systemic gender disparities. Public health and safety. Access to safe and legal abortion is a matter of public health. When abortion is restricted or illegal, individuals often resort to unsafe methods to terminate pregnancies, leading to severe health complications and even death. The World Health Organization, WHO, has consistently highlighted the dangers of unsafe abortions, noting that restrictive abortion laws do not reduce the incidence of abortion but rather increase the risks associated with it. Unrestricted access to abortion ensures that it is performed safely, reducing the likelihood of health complications. It also allows individuals to seek medical care without fear of legal repercussions, promoting a public health environment where reproductive health care is accessible and safe for all. Psychological and social well-being. The decision to carry a pregnancy to term is profoundly personal and can have significant psychological and social implications. Forcing someone to continue an unwanted pregnancy can lead to a range of negative mental health outcomes, including depression, anxiety, and trauma. These outcomes are exacerbated when individuals lack the social or financial support necessary to raise a child. Unrestricted access to abortion allows individuals to make choices that align with their mental health and social circumstances. It recognizes that the best judge of whether someone is ready and able to parent is the individual themselves. By supporting the right to choose, society promotes the psychological well-being of its members. Economic autonomy and social mobility. The ability to decide if and when to have children is crucial for economic autonomy and social mobility. Unintended pregnancies can significantly impact an individual's economic situation, often trapping them in cycles of poverty. Raising a child requires substantial financial resources, and those who are not prepared for this responsibility may struggle to provide for their children and themselves. Unrestricted access to abortion allows individuals to make decisions that best support their economic stability and future prospects. It enables them to complete their education, pursue careers, and achieve financial independence, thereby contributing to greater social mobility and economic equity. Moral and ethical considerations. The moral and ethical dimensions of abortion are deeply personal and vary widely among individuals and cultures. However, in a pluralistic society, it is essential to uphold the principle of individual choice in matters of moral and ethical significance. The imposition of restrictions on abortion often stems from particular moral or religious beliefs, which should not be used to dictate the choices of others. Unrestricted access to abortion respects the diversity of beliefs and values in society. It allows individuals to make decisions based on their own moral and ethical frameworks, rather than being coerced into conformity with the beliefs of others. This respect for individual conscience is a hallmark of a free and just society. Legal precedents and human rights. International human rights law recognizes reproductive rights, including access to abortion, as fundamental human rights. Documents such as the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW, and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, ICESCR, underscore the importance of reproductive autonomy. Legal precedents in various countries also support the right to abortion. For instance, the landmark U.S. Supreme Court case Roe v. Wade recognized the constitutional right to privacy, which encompasses a woman's right to choose to have an abortion. Although legal frameworks vary, the trend towards recognizing reproductive rights as human rights is clear and compelling. The practicality of unrestricted access. In practical terms, unrestricted access to abortion is the most effective way to ensure that all individuals can exercise their reproductive rights. Conditions and restrictions, such as waiting periods, mandatory counseling, and parental consent laws, create barriers that disproportionately affect marginalized communities. These barriers often delay access to care, increasing the risk of complications and making abortion less accessible to those who need it most. Unrestricted access eliminates these barriers, ensuring that everyone, regardless of their socioeconomic status, geographic location, or personal circumstances, can access safe and timely abortion care. It promotes equity and justice in reproductive health care. The role of government and state interference. The role of government should be to protect and uphold the rights of its citizens, not to interfere in personal medical decisions. Abortion is a deeply personal decision that should be made by the individual in consultation with their healthcare provider, free from government intrusion. When the state imposes conditions or restrictions on abortion, it oversteps its bounds and violates individual liberties. Unrestricted access to abortion aligns with the principle of limited government interference in private matters. It affirms that the state should not have the power to dictate reproductive choices, respecting the privacy and autonomy of its citizens. Conclusion. In conclusion, the argument for abortion as a fundamental right free from conditions or restrictions is compelling and multifaceted. It is grounded in the principles of bodily autonomy, gender equality, public health, psychological well-being, economic autonomy, moral and ethical respect, legal precedents, practical accessibility, and limited government interference. Unrestricted access to abortion is essential for ensuring that individuals can make the best decisions for their own lives and futures, free from coercion and undue barriers. By upholding this right, society affirms its commitment to justice, equality, and human dignity.